So Excel has its own meteorologists that assess the wildfire risk. Credit to them, they're being pretty clear about the criteria that would lead to a preemptive power shutoff tomorrow. So if they decide to go on vibes, we're going to be able to see that and ask about it.
It's an option of last resort, if you will. We do not take this decision lightly. This is an extreme criteria where we're seeing 97th percentile winds. We're seeing relative humidity that is in a very, very small percentage of the days that we see here in Colorado. And you kind of mix that together and we're seeing extreme wildfire.
So let's bring in our meteorologist, Chris Bianchi, to talk about this. So they're talking about 97th percentile on winds and also a narrow range on relative humidity. That allows you as a meteorologist to look at what we're expecting tomorrow and talk about how likely this is to happen.
Correct, Kyle. And so when we're talking about 97th percentile, to also be clear about that, we're talking about that means once in 30 years. That's a very, very pretty dangerous threshold. That's what we saw at the Marshall Fire. To be transparent about that, that is not what we are expecting for tomorrow, Kyle. And I want to make that clear differentiation right now because I am seeing a little bit of social media hype around that we're expecting perhaps Marshall Fire conditions. That is not the case. In fact, let's show you that kind of comparison right now. Vigilance, not feared. Marshall Fire, roughly 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. Tomorrow, 60 to 80. And also note the shorter shelf life with that time window. Also add in that the majority of that wind will be in higher relative humidity as well. So Marshall Fire, record low soil moisture tomorrow. Remember, it did snow 2 weeks ago, so there is some water within the soil. And then the relative humidity on the Marshall Fire day, about 15 to 20% tomorrow, 20 to 25%. It's probably going to actually be a little bit higher than that as well here.
That's really good perspective. And also, I imagine if they're targeting foothills for the highest winds, they might have had a little bit more moisture on the ground as compared to further out on the Front Range.
It took a little longer for that snow to melt off there.
Yep.
So that snow, while here in Denver, it melted off just a few days ago. Out there in the foothills, it melted off probably just within this past weekend.
Good news and good perspective. Chris, thank you.